Hello, my name is Ashley. Today I'm going to be doing a weekly reading for the week of, I just looked it up, December 16th through the 22nd, I believe. um, yeah, so I haven't pulled the cards yet. I'm just going to clear my energy, cleanse my aura, open up my auditory and visuals, open up my crown chakra to my divine guidance, making me a clear channel for the divine. I can just feel when I do that, and I protect my energy, which I've been having to do a lot lately, to like create stricter energetic boundaries, just because like I'm not living on my own, and so when you live with other people, like your energy can get like weighed down or enmeshed. Like you can take on their energy, especially as an empath or somebody that's sensitive. So it's really important. I'm like always clearing my energy. Like in my head, I'm like, I'll take a second, like especially when I'm done doing something or I'm done interacting with people. Especially because I'm like an introvert, and it takes a lot of time for me to like recover after being around people. So anyway, yeah, I'm always just like asking to clear my energy and to cleanse my aura, and then I can just feel, because I'm in the process of like allowing my heart to be open and not shutting it down, and that's hard to do like when you're around other people, especially if people don't really like understand what you're going through. So it's like you have to just create really clear boundaries. Like it's not, can't blame the other people, I guess. Like, of course you can't blame them, so you just have to learn how to live with it. And like before, I didn't really know how to live with it, so but now it's really easy, it seems like, because I'm able to like have clear boundaries, mostly energetically, because like I can pick up on people's like worry. Like I'm just picking up on energy all the time because I'm just highly sensitive to energy. Like not necessarily like highly sensitive where I'm like overly emotional, but highly sensitive to the energy around me. So that's especially, like I've talked about it before, about like going to the grocery store and clearing your energy there, because and we're taking on a lot of collective energy right now. So and like right now when I tap into the collective energy, it feels like I just really pick up on the like seasonal depression, especially maybe just in the area that I'm in, just because the Midwest, I don't know, it's just we shift this time of year, and it's hard. It's a hard shift because it's like, which it's funny because it's like I'm applying that to my life now. I just had like an aha, like I'm always really, it's really hard for me to, because we have our masculine and feminine energies, so it's really hard for me to like step out of my masculine energy and allow myself to like be in my feminine energy. And like I've been receiving a lot of messages about like, and I've just been hearing the word like submission a lot, and I can be very like, I've just mentioned this recently, like dominating, and like I like to be in control, and so I'm learning how to let go of control, and it's so hard to like, I have a really hard time transitioning right now, and I'm learning this about myself, transitioning from my masculine energy into my feminine energy, and like how to make that go smooth, because right now like I resist so much, and like it's like I'm fighting really hard. Like I don't want to give up control, I don't want to like surrender, and we always think like when I talk about surrender that we just like only surrender once and then we're done. Like no, it's just like a constant like cycle. So especially when we go into our feminine energy, like the infinity symbol, so from like, because I like see it as like my clairvoyance helps me, and my clairvoyance is very, very heightened right now, so I'm seeing like images and pictures to help like describe what I'm feeling, because that just helps me a lot to like understand it. Like I'm just a very visual learner, hands-on visual, like so it's important for me to see it, but I'm noticing how I have trouble like it's a little bit smoother for me to come from my feminine energy into my masculine energy, but then when it's time for me to step out of my masculine energy and like dive into my feminine energy, that's where it's like whoa, like, and I resist. But we've also been taught how to only be in our masculine energy, so like learning to be in our feminine energy can be really scary, because you let go of control, you're just in complete surrender, you have really strong faith, like you're just really strong in your sense of self, and it's like challenging that about myself, like seeing my self-worth, and like it's just a lot. And so I know a lot of people are probably feeling like I'm just sensing that, like, kind of like challenged and depressed and just down and like very low energy. That's what I'm sensing with this time of year, and that's important. And we're going into our feminine energy. That's why so many people like resist this time of, like, we love this time of year, but it's been like, it also drains us at the same time. Not just drains us, like energetically, and like emotionally, but also like financially, because our society has also turned this time into consumerism galore, and so people are like hustling, bustling, feeling like they're not making enough because they have to provide this and this and this. And this time of year was intended, like, just like Mother Nature, she's resting right now. So it's really about being in our feminine energy, and this time of year people can really resist being in their feminine energy and trusting and allowing, and then they fight against it, and that's when like seasonal depression happens, or a lot of anxiety, or a lot of like conflict, or like family drama, a lot of that, because we're not allowing ourselves to sit with this time. And it's hard because when we're in our feminine energy, we're in our like in our shadows, and a lot of things are getting triggered. If we don't know how to handle those things, then we create conflict, we pick fights, we defend our hearts. And this time of year, if you think about it, it's almost Christ's birthday. Like, how exciting, because that's what it's really all about. But if you think about Christ, he's our heart center, he's our heart. And so like people's hearts are feeling really open, and people are feeling really vulnerable and like just intimate, and like it's just a heart opening. And I felt that last year at this time too. So it's just this time of year, like, it's Christ's birthday, like, he is like the ultimate lover, he loves unconditionally. That was part of why he came here. Not that that's the only, or like, that's just what I feel. And so I just feel really close to him personally, like energetically and spiritually. I can feel him really closely, and just like some stuff just resonates more than other things for me when I think about like Jesus or Christ, or you know he's the same thing. But anyway, on to my reading, since I babbled, but I guess I have some stuff to say. Sometimes I can talk too much, though. I ramble a lot. I talk a lot. One thing I'm working on, which is a process for me, is learning how to listen, because I'm not. And I keep receiving messages about that, too. Like, you need to listen more, especially in the feminine energy, what I was talking about, like, it's hard for me to, like, surrender into my feminine energy, just because, like, it just feels uncomfortable. Like, honestly, it does. It feels uncomfortable, and it would be easier for me to stay. But then I get so, like, because the masculine energy, when we're like abusing our masculine energy, and we haven't dropped out of our masculine energy into our feminine energy, we can get like mentally exhausted and like confused, like too much in the mind. That's why it's important to like go in between and go back and forth. It's just, sometimes it can be hard, and I've just noticed recently that it's hard for me to move from my masculine energy into my feminine energy. Like, the transition is harder than it is for me to come from my feminine energy into my masculine energy. Because I do like to be in control. Like, it's just something about me. Like, and I also just came from that, like I was just, like, my masculine energy, and like the masculine energy I grew up around, which was distorted. It's just like, a lot of control, and so it's hard for me to, that's just one thing, and I just notice where I'm doing it more and more, So anyway, enough about me. And I just hope this is helpful. Like, sometimes I feel so conflicted and so confused, because like, sometimes I do feel like I just talk about myself, but I also feel like me sharing my story is part of what I'm supposed to be doing, and like the whole like masculine and feminine energies within ourselves, and I don't know, I just feel like maybe this is supposed to be helpful, and I feel like that's just the point, is to just share what's going on with me and my experience. That doesn't mean that everybody's having the same experience as me, or everybody views it like I do. Everybody has different opinions. Everybody's going through something different, yet similar. So yeah, I'm just sharing because this gives me a place to share, because I don't really share this with a lot of people. So this is just something I like to do. I'm a little bit of a loner. I need to get out more. I need to like trust other people more, which makes sense because I'm learning how to trust myself even more, and trusting that like there are other people like me, or like that I'm not alone. Like I've just always felt so alone for my whole life, pretty much. Like I just felt so isolated, and like I'm just reviewing that right now. Like I'm just seeing it very clearly in the situation that I'm in and that I've created myself. It's just like, oh my gosh, Ashley, like come on. Come out of this little hole. Okay, anyway. And I just have to like laugh. I've been noticing though, like this is great because like I hate even talking about it. Like this is stupid and I hate it. The talking about the twin flame path, and I hate it. I hate talking about it. Honestly, I just don't want to talk about it. Just because it's like like I have this fear of like sounding crazy, or like of like being wrong. I think that's it. Like of being wrong. That's what gets you on this journey, in this path, is like, what if I'm wrong, you know? Like, and then you're like, okay, so what if I'm wrong? Who gives, you know, like you have to get to that point where you're like, okay, if I'm wrong, then whatever, at least this was cool. Like at least I grew from this, at least, you know, like I don't know, it's just really complicated, but like I know I'm supposed to talk about it, and that's why like I'm resisting so much. That's why there's so much resistance, is because I'm supposed to be talking about this. I'm supposed to be sharing my experience and what I've learned from this without like holding a bunch of like expectations and like thinking it's supposed to look a certain way when really it could look any way I wanted, I guess. Anyway, it's just I need to, I guess, have more confidence when it comes to talking about this, but I'm just like, this is brand new for me, and like a lot of people talk about like the great things about like a twin flame path, or like they talk about like the romance, or like how much they love this person, and that's all true, that's good, but it's like, what about the other part, like where you just want to punch things, and you just want to like rip out people's hair, or your own hair, mostly my own hair, I just want to rip out my own hair, or like I just get really angry, and like I've always like never allowed I like a lot of women, or just people in general, don't allow themselves to express their anger or feel their anger, but I've just been noticing like through the twin flame path, like how I went from like crying all the time, like bawling all the time, which I still cry every once in a while, I really do, but when I'm crying, I'm just like releasing pent up like old stagnant energy, and I'm allowing myself to feel it. Sometimes it's still hard for me to do it and accept the feelings that I don't really like to accept about myself, like the anger, and like it's okay for me to feel angry, like I should feel angry, and it's just like I have to allow myself to feel those emotions. But you know, we've always been taught, like especially little girls, like don't be angry, like that's just not very ladylike, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I don't give a shit about being ladylike right now. Like I just want to punch things, I want to scream at the top of my lungs, that's what it feels like I just want to scream. But what I've had to learn is like I'm just laughing so much more, like I'm trying to find the funny in it, the humor in it. And that's so good. It's like I'm finally at this place where I'm like, okay, I can just like laugh about this, but then other times I just want to cry and scream and punch things. So yeah, I just don't think that part gets talked about enough, especially on this journey, because like it's not just about a twin flame journey, it's about, and it's not about another person, it's really about the energies within yourself, the masculine and feminine energies within yourself, and there's just a lot to be learned about that. So actually, because that's what I'm going to do with this reading, I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and do one thing I haven't been incorporating is like, and this really helped me, like one of the like a fellow card reader, I guess you could call her, or like healer, this woman I found when I like began to start this journey, whatever, she would do weekly videos because she had like a membership, and I would watch them to help me understand my own masculine and feminine energies within myself. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do like what's coming up for the masculine, what's coming up for the feminine. I just feel like that's helpful for the two energies, but I do feel like the energies are balancing out, so they're like experiencing similar things but different. I don't know, I just feel like it's so different for the masculine and the feminine, because the feminine and the masculine are so different, their energies are so different, so it's like they're learning how to handle them. I don't know, I feel like the lessons are like parallel but opposite, if that's, like, parallel but contradicting. I don't know. Like, that's just what it feels like. It feels so different. But that's one thing in relationships we have to realize too, is that, because like the feminine has kind of become lost in the masculine, and the masculine, so learning how to, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, like, because we have to understand our partners. We have to understand that the masculine is going to be different than the feminine. Like, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us, but we generally resonate, and one of our energies is more dominant. Like, I resonate deeply with my feminine energy, but I still have my masculine energy. It's hard to explain, kind of, because we all have the energy within us, but we resonate more. Like, generally, one energy is just more developed, I guess. But what we come to do here is balance it out. And what I'm receiving about, like, twin flames is, like, we've never been on this level before. That's what it feels like, a video game. That's what I see to describe it to me. It's like, there's a lot of twin flames who have been learning different things. There's twin flames spread throughout everywhere, but it's like, that's what I'm hearing is, like, and, like, sensing that we've never been on this level before. Like, this is a whole new level. So it's like, because I know with my twin flame, I've been with this person in another lifetime, many other lifetimes, and so it's like, but this is just it's like the connection's way different. It's, that's what I'm just hearing. It's like a whole new level so it's a whole new set of challenges that we've never faced before. Like, it's like we've done this before in other lifetimes. We've learned certain lessons, but I don't know. That's just what I'm feeling. It's like, and maybe that's just specific to me, and that's why I received it, but I just feel like it was more widespread. Like, that's what it felt like. Like, it was affecting more twin flames than just me. Because not everyone has a twin flame, and twin flames really just came here to, like, pave a way for a new relationship template. Like, a new paradigm. So, a new way of relating. And so what we really just came here to do is understand the masculine and feminine energies, because for me it makes it easier if I understand things from an energy level. That just makes more sense to me. It's more like, it's almost like more logical, because it has like the science behind it. That's why I love, like, Albert Einstein, and, like, just I like reading about the science behind things, because I just feel like the West is finally catching up to the East, and we're supposed to be, like, because I see the middle, like, the Eastern, like, we're Western, so I see the Eastern more as, like, the feminine energy, and the Western more like the masculine energy, and they're both really out of balance right now. Like, the East needs more to incorporate more of their masculine, and the West needs to incorporate more of their feminine, and that's literally, like, how we create, like world peace, I guess. And I've always been, like, an advocate for world peace, but people like we'll never have peace on Earth. Maybe we won't, but I believe we will. And I feel like it's important to have that intention that I believe that we could. And that's just how I see it. So if we, like, balance those energies out within ourselves, we'll see it reflected out in the world. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be talking more about. I think I'm just going to focus more on, like, the masculine and the feminine energies, just so we can understand. And this is about yourself. So when you begin to understand these energies within yourself, then, like, you'll be able to understand your partner better. You'll be able to like, if you're looking to be with a man, you'll be able to understand. We have to understand from the masculine's perspective. So it's like we have to put ourselves in their shoes, and that can be hard for the feminine to do, is to, like, turn around and look at a different perspective, like, because it does humble you. It really humbles you. So which I'm already at 20 minutes, and I don't want to worry about the time. So if you make it all the way, thank you for watching and listening, I guess. But I just have a lot to work through right now, so this is where I'm just beginning. This is where I'm beginning, I guess. I don't know. Like, honestly, sometimes I just don't even know what I'm doing. But I'm just going with it, and I resist, like, talking about this so much, but it really is, like, freeing, because this is really what's happening to me. Like, I wouldn't even waste my breath if if this isn't something that I was experiencing. So, like I said, I just like to laugh at myself, and I have to have fun with it, because if I don't have fun with it, then, it's gonna be something I dread, and I don't. I really enjoy doing this. I like, relaying messages from spirit, and I learn a lot about myself too. And that's why I do it. And oh my goodness, my armpits sweat so much. Like, it's funny because the girl I was mentioning before, the woman I was mentioning before, who like did her card readings, and who has helped me a lot. Maybe I'll just make this 2 separate videos. I really don't know. See, I just get so confused, so I'm just like, okay. Anyway, sure, her nose always itches when she gets, when she's, doing a reading, and my armpits sweat so much, I don't know, but also, like, I like to write, and I like to channel via my soul, so when I'm channeling, like, messages, or, it's like maybe there is a lot of energy, I just sweat profusely, like, my armpits are sweating so much. It might be TMI, but, like, maybe somebody thinks they're weird, you know, like, I just want people to know that they're not weird, like, this is so weird, like, people think I'm so weird. And maybe that's just me projecting that onto people. Maybe people don't think I'm weird at all, you know? But, this isn't, like, something that you see a lot of people doing, you know? So it's challenging me. Like, it's challenging me. Like, can I rise above it? Can, like, I just keep going, like, and not care? And that's the whole point. Because that's helping me, like, let go of judgments of myself so that I can accept myself fully. Which is weird, because, like, I don't judge other people for it, so why am I judging myself? You know, like, why am I judging myself? I feel like I'm good at this, and this is what I came here to do, and it's something that I enjoy doing, so, I can't be terrible at it, I guess. Maybe, you know, it's what I was meant to do. Anyway, let's get on with the reading, since I've already rambled on for 20 minutes. I just want, like, this helps me, like, I don't know, maybe reach out to other people, like in the virtual world, like people that I can't really, like, be in contact with here face to face. So, because when this is brand new, it's not like you have a lot of people that, like, have the same beliefs as you, or, like, you know. So anyway, it can be a little isolating, and that's what that's part of the twin flame journey, is it can be very isolating. So I'm at the point where I'm just isolating myself now because I'm too scared to put myself out there. You know, and that comes with, like, you know, my own issues, like, and I'm not perfect, and I don't know everything, and anyway, yeah. So, this is a reading for the week of the 16th to the 22nd. What is the overall energy for us this week? What's the overall energy for us this week? Oh goodness. 9 of Swords. So this is, like, extreme anxiety. A lot of fear, like not being able to sleep. A lot of mental energy, which I'm feeling. I can feel it in my head right here in my temples. And so, yeah, this is just a lot of mental energy. A lot of fear. Just lots of fear. That's the overall energy. Okay. And one. Okay, this is where I'm going to do, what do we need to know about the masculine energy this week? Do we need to know about the masculine energy this week? Okay. 3 of Wands. So this is, like, a little bit of, like, a pause, like, before moving forward. Like, reflecting, kind of, like, looking out, like, surveying it, kind of, that's the word I'm hearing, like looking at all the options, kind of, but that might be why there's lots of fear and anxiety and mental energy, because you might be, like, the masculine energy might be overthinking, which is what I'm feeling in my head, my energy right now. It's like overthinking, like, they see the whole picture, they see the whole land, and then, like, because this is just, like, I'm thinking in terms of, like, the masculine energy before it was all distorted. So, like, which I mentioned in another video, it's like they map out the land, and then they make, like, strategic, like, okay, we can't go over here because there's this and this and this, and we can't do this because there's this and this and this. So it's like they're, like, looking out, like, that's what it seems like. This man is, like, looking out, like, okay, where do I go? Because this is, like, the 2 of Wands would be, like, needing to make a decision or a choice, and this is, like, the choice has been made now. It's just, like, not time to move forward yet. That's the masculine energy. And this might be creating like fear and anxiety because like just like waiting kind of can kind of cause that. And that's when we're in our feminine energy, when we're like waiting. And then the feminine energy, if we don't stay grounded, then it can make us like, fears will come up, illusions will come up to like, to worry the mind. So, alright, and then what does the feminine energy need to know this week? What does the feminine energy need to know this week? The Devil. So this is kind of like, this reminds me a lot of this Nine of Swords. So this is like fear, self-sabotage, like feeling tied down, feeling trapped, feeling, yeah, this is just like, especially when we are in that feminine energy, and I can just speak for myself because this is coming up for me, like, it's like, and this is like the ego, this says to me like the ego, I just feel like the ego is being annihilated, and I feel like I am giving up a battle. That's what it feels like, because it feels like I had this vision the other day, I think it was yesterday, where I was just like, I'm so sick of like battling these illusions in my mind that aren't even real. They're like, you know, and that's what it feels like. I just feel a lot of energy right now in my body. So I feel like this is coming up for a lot of people. It's like, see, this is like shadows too, like our inner child wounding. This is really it. And it's funny because I can feel myself, like, sometimes I see my inner child. So I just feel like the feminine energy needs to take care of her inner child right now. That's it. It's just like because you're in your feminine energy. I just feel like the feminines are in their feminine. I feel like both, actually, because this is kind of like a feminine energy. Like, it's like a waiting, a stillness, a pause. And this is causing a lot of anxiety. This is causing like this, these wounds to be triggered. You have to like see them and tell yourself that they're not real, which can be hard. It's hard. I can speak for myself. It's hard. It's challenging for me every single day. And like I said, it's kind of like I've been battling these things, these fears in my mind. Like, I saw myself like physically boxing, and it was just like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm tired. But what I'm doing is protecting my heart because of the past. And like I said, I can speak for myself. So, that's okay. That's like right where I have to tell myself, like, I'm right where I'm meant to be, but it's still challenging me. It still hurts. Like, it's hard. And to stay like instead of letting the anger, like, what I believe anger is just like unused or misused passion. So it's like passion that you won't allow yourself to feel, and when you don't allow yourself to feel that passion, then it turns into anger. It's like, why, and I have to keep telling myself, why are you not allowing yourself to feel this passion? Why are you not allowing yourself to feel it? Because when I don't allow myself to feel it, it turns into anger, and it turns into frustration, which is okay to have. You're supposed to have anger. You're supposed to feel your feelings. It's like, for me, it feels like I'm feeling anger. I'm feeling sadness. Like, I could sleep for days. I'm feeling anger. I could punch things. I like to jump up and down and listen to music and, like stomp my feet. Kind of like a child, you know, to get that energy out of me, that fiery, like, anger energy. So that, like, which I kind of just feel like is this energy. Because, like, when we don't use this energy, then it can get distorted and it comes out as anger. Because you're not allowing it to be expressed in the way that it wants to be expressed through passion. Sometimes we can be scared of our own passions, which is an illusion. Okay. I'm just going to ask then, what's the advice? What's the advice for this week? Or, let's ask what's hidden this week. What is hidden this week? What are we not seeing clearly this week? The masculines, I'm hearing, like, don't feel rushed. Take your time. Like, through this pause. Like, take your time. But don't be too over-logical. Like, don't be too much in your mind. Move more from passion, because the wands are more about, like, desires and passion. So move from your heart space and your passions rather than, you know, the fear. So if you have the fear, just wait. are we not seeing clearly this week? Page of Pentacles. I feel like this came up last week, but maybe it was in the monthly reading. But okay, so this is like this is like a young energy. But like exciting. But like I'm getting like daunting, overwhelmed. With like this feels like a new adventure, a new cycle, like a baby, like the very beginning. Because the pages are like the babies. They're not like, then would be the knight and then the queen and then the king. But, this is good. This is like a new start in the material world. Let's pull one more. What else? What are we not seeing clearly this week? Oh, but what I'm getting also is this is about like self-worth and self-esteem and value, self-value. That's what I'm getting. I don't need to pull another card. So it's like about seeing the value in yourself. So it might just be like the very beginning stages. Maybe you're not used to feeling very valuable. Maybe you're not used to having a lot of self-esteem. That's me personally. I can speak for that too. So like really believing in yourself. Yeah, so this is just like very young energy, but good. Headed in the right direction. Like, maybe it's a she. I don't know if it's a she or a he, but anyway, it's like looking up at it. Like very proud of it. That's the energy I feel like we need to be holding is proud, like being proud. Instead of getting caught up in like, holy fuck. Excuse my language, I messed up, or like, I could have done this, like, that's what I'm seeing, like, I'm seeing, like, now, like, all the things I could have done, if I would have made choices based from self-value, and, like, this value, and this worth, and knowing my worth, instead of making choices from, like, this energy, this fear, or, like, the devil energy from, like, the past, then, I could be in a whole different situation, but I'm not, because I was operating from a place of fear, and not from a place of love, so it's not, like, my highest. So this is like just the beginning. Like you have to treat yourself like a child. Like I just hear like co-create too, like creating, because the pentacles are about creating. I feel, especially in the physical, like creating something in the physical, like knowing your worth and then taking your worth that you feel within and producing something with it without, as within so without. Okay. So we're just babies learning how to like really see the value in ourselves and like have like respect for ourselves, like self-respect, self-worth. My throat hurts kind of right now while I'm speaking. So like there might be trouble like expressing like self-value or expressing self-esteem, like how to express self-esteem, how to shift your energy and so that you're moving from a place of self-esteem and a place of self-value and not from a place of like not good enough or feeling rejected or feeling abandoned or not heard or not seen, like all those woundings. Okay. Yeah, my throat really hurts. So maybe I'm not like saying something that I need to say. There's just something with the throat chakra there. Okay, this could also be like, I've been noticing this about myself with the throat chakra actually, is like speaking things into existence, and that's how you create. And I like to write too, so I should be creating more via my writing, because when I'm talking and I'm speaking and I'm using my words, I'm creating with intention from a place of value, which will ultimately bring more value into your life, will reflect there. Okay. Like, learning how to see your value is humbling, that's for sure, but it's really hard, especially when you've just been at the other opposite end. Like, I always hated myself, and so to just see it, like, to know that you're worthy of abundance, like, just for existing, that it's your birthright, and allowing yourself to feel abundant, always. That can challenge your mind when you're not. it's like letting go of the past. This is what this is, like freeing yourself from those chains, like freeing yourself from the past. And this is the feminine energy, so I'm totally feeling that for sure. I think it's good that the masculine energy is this like in this space of like observing. That's what it feels like, observing, watching, but feeling passionate, like gathering information. That's what it feels like from this card, like gathering information before making the movement forward. Like, you know what choice you already want to go in, but like gathering information. That's what it feels like. So like it's just a period of introspection, especially urges, especially with like the devil. So like seeing these and not reacting from them, like still seeing your value too. This is what we're not seeing clearly, is that you are valuable. That's what I feel. Okay, then lastly, what is the advice? What is the advice for us this week? Queen of Swords. I like this card. This is like having clear boundaries, communicating clearly, communicating your needs, clearly, being very direct. This could also come off as like blunt or straightforward. This can be like a hard energy for some people to handle, I guess, or like for me personally, I guess I just resonate really deeply with this card because it's like the Queen of Swords, so this is like my energy. This could be like a Gemini. And I've always been very blunt. I've always been very like, it's just about like being honest and like speaking the truth and like not being afraid to speak the truth and being very authentic. That's what she also represents, is like just being, and sometimes that like clear communication or like knowing exactly what you need and knowing exactly what you want can come off kind of harsh, I guess. But when it's coming from a place of like authenticity and integrity, it's honesty. It's to the point. Like, one thing about me too is like I honestly don't like to beat around the bush. Generally, I like to get right to the point unless I'm just blind to something, which happens quite frequently. Like, sometimes I need to be smacked in the face. I do. Like, I'm not denying that, but like also this is like seeing through illusion because it's the mind, which also goes good with this. So this is the overall energy, and this is the advice. So this is like perfect. I feel like they're contrasting, like, because this is like having so much fear, and this is seeing right through the BS, seeing right through the crap, cutting through the crap. So this is the advice. Be this energy, that's good. I like that advice. It's helpful for me. Because sometimes like we can get caught up in the mind, especially there is a lot of mental energy. I'm just feeling that. A lot of masculine energy. So like I said, if we don't stay like practice meditation or do something like connect us to the earth, which would be like this Page of Pentacles, then sometimes we can get too much in the mind. But yeah, so this is like the advice is see through the illusion, set clear boundaries, communicate effectively and clearly and maturely. Like, this is communicating maturely. It's about embodying this energy, so embodying clear boundaries. That's what I feel like. Like, I was talking about that in the beginning with myself and like creating energetic boundaries. So this could be energetic boundaries. Yeah. And so this is more communication. Like, I was feeling the throat chakra. So yeah, just communicating clearly and effectively and maturely. But sometimes the Queen of Swords can also like become very cold because she doesn't have her emotions, so she's just very, sometimes she can come off as cold. So you have to like learn how to balance that like cold energy. Especially like I've just like with my feminine, like growing up was like just very cold, and so sometimes my feminine energy can be very cold. And then that reflects, and then like in like the twin flame, because they're just like a reflection that can reflect in the communication. I'm just feeling a lot. I feel a lot in my throat chakra and my ears. It's like there's a lot of things about like communicating and listening and like hearing and allowing. words to be spoken. Yeah, my ears are like throbbing right now. Okay. Under the deck was Six of Cups, which has been coming up a lot. Which is like, I don't know, I think of like, friendship. This is like past love, soulmates, nostalgia. So like this nostalgia could go with this like Devil card, like remembering the past. I feel like a lot of remembrance is coming up. A lot of remembering. I'm gonna use something. Let's do Whispers of Love. I haven't used that in a while. And I'm gonna be focusing, I guess, more on like, which I've always kind of focused on love, I guess. That's the whole point. It's like relationship, it's like self-love, but there's also the aspect of wanting a relationship, always. Okay, so what is overall energy with this Nine of Swords? Overall energy this week. Okay. This might be what's causing the anxiety. It says physical touch is important. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. So this is what could be causing the anxiety. The fear is the fear of like the physical touch of the, because it's like this is a very grounded energy, a very in the physical. There's two people there, and it says right there, physical touch is important. So there might be anxiety about this. This could also represent like courtship or like a new beginning. That's what it feels like. That's what's causing a lot of fear. It's interesting, which makes really sense. I feel that myself personally, especially with the feminine energy. Just feeling very like that sexual energy, like that sexual energy, like awakening within my own feminine energy that just like wants to come out, like the wild woman. You know, that's what it feels like. So it's like I'm craving like physical touch. That's what it feels like. Like I'm really craving the physical, but I'm also like I can also fear it at the same time, personally. And that's when we like put up walls to like protect ourselves. That's when the devil comes in. This is the feminine energy this week. It's like like wanting this. Like if you want this physical touch, but at the same time you're fearing it, then you're not manifesting it. Actually repulsing it and pushing it away. So that's important to know. So you just have to like work through that, and it can be a shadow. It can be like from a past lifetime. It can be from a childhood wound. You know, it's like it's the intimacy. Okay, and the vulnerability that's causing the fear is what I feel. Okay, and then what do we need to know about the masculine energy this week? Know about the Three of Wands with the masculine energy this week. Express love through gifts. Giving a small token to someone expresses your love to them. So I feel like that's what the masculine is working on doing. That's why he's like weighing his options or gathering information so that maybe he can express his love through a gesture. This doesn't have to be like a physical gift of any kind. It could be the physical touch, like the pat on the back, a hug, a kind word, you know. It could be anything like that. Or it could be like a physical gift, I guess. That can apply too. So that's what I feel like. It's like surveying, like gathering information so that he can make like a logical yet emotional choice. Like a passionate choice, because it is the wands. So, and then what does the feminine energy need to know this week with the devil? What does the feminine energy need to know this week? The heart of the matter. There is more going on than meets the eye. Recognize what this is all about. That's perfect with the devil card, I feel. And I always like this card too because this little child here is resting. I love that. Like, looks so peaceful, and I like that. There's a bunch of different animals on here: a tiger, a unicorn, swans, butterflies, peacocks, monkeys. So these animals animals just really resonate with me, so that's why I speak of animals. I see them a lot. There's a lamb. But anyway, it's number 22 too, which I also like number 22. So there's more going on than meets the eye. Like, you're protected. I feel like this angel is looking over this, like, this child here. Like, you're safe. You're safe. That's what I want to say to the feminine, is you're safe. Especially like to accept love. That's what it feels like. Because we see, like, through the masculine, like, express love through gifts of the masculines wanting to express his love, but it's like, the feminine has to be able to accept it for it to be like a reciprocal thing, which is under here, like, and this is about giving and receiving too. So I feel like the masculine may want to give something, like, but in order for the masculine to be able to give, the feminine has to be able to receive. So the masculine energy won't be able to give until the feminine energy can receive. Otherwise, it just won't work, you know? So it's always a constant back and forth, and that's what's so irritating and challenging about the twin flame journey, is, like, we're always, like, challenging each other, and that's why, like, you can hate this person, because I hate this person. I don't hate him. I shouldn't say that. I don't, but I do at the same time. Like, I hate this, like, but I'm learning to love at the same time. Like, I've had to learn to love and to hate it. It's like, it's a love-hate relationship. That's what it feels like, honestly. Because, like, I love that, like, he challenges me to grow, but I also hate it at the same time, that he makes me see myself, like, oh, it's just, like, it can be really frustrating. But then, like, I can't hate him because I love him, you know, so it's at the same time, like, and he's that, like, safe place that I go to, like, that it's that energy inside me. So that's what I'm saying, like, I don't physically go to him. Our, like, relationship is not physical, you know, it's not physical, it's spiritual. And so, but even spiritually, I've created a space within, we both created this space within ourselves, that we go to for, like, peace and love, and so it's like there we feel that, like, we have to go to that certain space, but at the same time we can also, like, really hate each other and, like, really butt heads and not agree, and I just, you know, so it's just, like, it's challenging. It's not easy for people, and, like, that's why I say, like, I would never choose this. Like, well, I did choose it as a soul, but, like, it's not something I would go out looking for, is what I'm saying. Like, I have to, like, embrace this experience that's happening to me, and, like, at least teach something or learn something from it, because if I didn't, I would go mad, I would go nuts, I would go insane. And I feel like that's the whole point. That's why it is very liberating to, like, to speak about it, because it's like, this is what's happening, and I can already feel my throat chakra feeling better as I express myself and, like, be open. Anyway, so there's more going on than meets the eye, feminine. Just chill. These are just wounds coming up. Like, recognize them. They're not binding you. They're not trapping you. That's an illusion. That's what this is. Illusion. Fear. Not real. Okay, so what are we not seeing clearly with this Page of Pentacles in our value? What are we not seeing clearly this week? New love is what we're not seeing. Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth, which I like that it comes with the Page of Pentacles, because it is about, like, creating something new. Like I said, this is baby, and I like that it says new, because it is a baby. It's like a baby. In this relationship, that might be it. That's what I'm getting. The relationship is a baby. And we're just seeing the value in the relationship. That's what I'm seeing. So it's like nurturing it, growing it, and because it talks about work opportunities or I feel like it could be both, work opportunities and or spiritual growth. One could be more focused on spiritual growth, and one could be more focused on work opportunities, or, you know, the creating, like, financial stability in the physical, financial abundance. But then also, like, abundance is also could be love. Like, for me, abundance is love. So anyway, there's a new opportunity for love that is here. That's what we're not seeing clearly, is this little baby is growing into something, you know. It just takes a while, you know, like, we have to be patient for a baby to be born, which is, like, in our feminine energy. Okay, that's good. And then lastly, what is your advice for us this week with the Queen of Swords? What is your advice for us this week? So this is the energy we need to embody this week. Seeing through the illusions, cutting through the crap, which I already mentioned, but I just want to mention again. What is the advice for this week with the Queen of Swords? Okay, perfect. Look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. I like that she's kind of like looking into this ball. Like she could be like looking into the future. Especially because we're in our feminine energy. And like I said, my clairvoyance is really heightened right now. And so this is the advice, is to look to your inner strength. Like especially if you communicate. Like don't communicate harshly or coldly. Like look to your inner strength. Like maybe you just are feeling very defeated. I feel that way. So look to your inner strength. And then under that is perfect, because I was talking about value, and I just feel like this is important. Love who you are. You are a divine and wonderful person, deserving all of wonderful things that life has to offer. This is about receiving, which is perfect that it goes under the deck with this one. These were both under the deck. Love who you are. Like we can't love another person if we don't love who we are. And then under that was, be willing to express love. When we express love, we begin to receive more love. Which goes perfectly too with the giving and receiving. That's perfect. Alright, one more from Journey of Love. I'm always a little long, but that's okay. And I like that, whoops, on this is an 8 card that just stuck out to me, which I was talking about the infinity symbol at the beginning. It's the masculine and feminine energies, and 8 is also like a number of abundance. So it's like, and it's like the giving and receiving. So that's why I really like the number 8 too. Alright, so I already said I'm gonna do one from the journey. What is the overall message? Like, what do we need to know for this week? So overall message for the week from Spirit. It's funny, I pulled this. I've been pulling this a lot actually. Falling. Which I really just read this one recently in a video. I want to say it was the monthly October reading. So maybe I don't need to, October, I meant December. Maybe I don't need to do a reading every week, but honestly this helps me. And I like to share. Something I actually enjoy doing. So if I enjoy doing it, then I'm going to do it. Okay. Don't worry. You may fear you are falling. Falling in love. I feel like that's what the fear is. Okay. But it's just your soul diving deeper into the ocean of bliss. Exactly. Like falling in love, not just with the person, but falling in love with your soul. Falling in love with the creator of the soul. Are you sensing parts of your life flying away from you, out of your control, as the momentum of your divine surrender takes over and becomes more powerful than the old adhesive between you and what no longer serves? Laugh, cry, celebrate, and ponder. Whether it makes sense or not, you are like a perfectly ripe fruit falling from the universal tree, succulent, ready to be enjoyed for all that you are. If you wait any longer, this moment will be lost and you'll end up on the ground, having to decay and to go to seed in order to start the whole process again. This is not so bad, but what a shame if your sweet nectar was not to be savored by the hungry world. You deserve to be declared the most delicious, juicy fruit there ever was. So fall. You'll end up exactly where you were meant to be. This oracle contains a message for you. You are being called closer into divine union. And into the fulfillment of your destiny. Right now. It is safe, which I was saying before, for you to trust what is happening. Go with it. It might seem like you are being asked to take a leap of faith. It is the right timing for that. It is your time to give yourself in love, without holding back anything of yourself. In the poem, is it wrong to love, to feel what I hold inside? The answer must wait. That ties in perfectly. So, I hope that you have a wonderful week, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, whoever you are. And I'm sending lots of love, and I hope this was helpful, and I'll be back next week, probably.